Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Endras Center for the biggest and best technology conference on this planet. It's really great to have you here at Startup University, where you're going to get to hear from CEOs and founders and investors, and how you go from where you are to where they are. I have the privilege of kicking off today's sessions because I've been on your journey. I started my professional career right when the web was just starting as a Java programmer. I worked for a local company here that raised $50 million US trying to invent a mobile application store. This was way before the iPhone was around. 18 months into my gig, the company turns down an offer for $400 million to be acquired, to only go bankrupt 12 months later. There's something to be said about the market not being ready for your product. Fast forward to 2009. I start my own company called TradeRev, a business-to-business marketplace on the mobile phone that allows car dealers to sell and buy inventory with each other. Over the past 10 years, we've gone from 2 employees to 700 across North America, gone through 2 funding rounds, and we were eventually acquired by a US public company called Car Auction Services. We're about to list 400,000 cars this year and transact over $2 billion worth of cars on our platform. It wasn't easy, and I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm here to share 3 lessons with you before I turn it over to our panel. Lesson number 1, assume you'll be successful, but accept that you'll never be done. When you have a disruptive idea, a crazy idea, people will tell you just that. You're crazy. Your business will fail. There's no chance you'll succeed. And my personal favorite, you just don't have the right to win in this space. You've got to stay confident. You got to be a champion for ideas. And you got to be a champion for your early believers. If you don't assume you're going to be successful, you're going to make decisions for your company that potentially could stall your growth. I'll give you an example in my case. See a picture up here. This is our second office space. We went through 5 different moves in a very short period of time just because I didn't think we'd grow as fast as we could. We actually held 3 subleases in Toronto at the same time. When you're cash-strapped, that's not a good thing. And it's also very disruptive to your business. You're not focusing on your customers or your value proposition. You're focusing on hanging out with your real estate agent and finding a place to move your people. I also thought, if we reach 1,000 cars sold per month, that'll be success. I could kick back, hang out with my family a little bit more. It was really disappointing when the problems just got worse. As soon as the market realized our business model could stick, we started getting competition. The copycats flooded in. And what you see here is are from our MVP to our final iPhone product that we have out in the market today. We really doubled down on our technology, and we really had to innovate to stay ahead of the competition, innovate on our business process, and innovate what we could do in the app. So if you assume you'll be successful, and if you don't get discouraged by the fact that you're never done, that success is not done or finished, you'll be able to have a longer strategic view. Lesson number 2, and this one's going to sound very counterintuitive. Money is not the most important thing, but values and culture are. Like I mentioned to you, I grew up during a time when the companies that we know and love, the Amazons, the Googles, and maybe some of us still love Facebook, they were the successful ones. They were growing. And so my definition of success was hopefully getting on Bloomberg Tech one day and going for $1 billion valuation. Both of those didn't happen yet. So I self-funded my company with about $30,000. That ended up going to $700,000. Then I got an angel round at $1 million. And then I got another angel round at $3 million very, very quickly after. Not at one point did I think, hey, these partners are bringing more than just money. That's all I cared about, was the money they brought to allow me to grow my business. It's only when we got the right partner that gave us the right advice that we really started talking about culture. And culture seems like a very nebulous, kind of squishy concept, and it is a buzzword. But the reality is it's grounded in hard truths called values. And I got together with our TradeRev leadership team and really started discussing what values were important to us and what we wanted to stand by. And so what manifested itself, and if you can come by our booth, you'll see all this, is what we call FAB, or being FAB. FAB's an acronym, stands for fun, honest, accountable, and brave. And it really is pervasive through everything we do, from the way we have fun, to the way we're accountable to each other for projects, and being brave about making the right decisions in our business. It's when we had these values that our culture really started to get defined, and it empowered our employees to make decisions for the organization that could help grow our business. So set your values early. Doesn't seem like an important thing, but it's really what's going to set guideposts for your organization to scale faster. And finally, one I think that we can all relate to, don't get distracted. Focus on one problem. One thing we don't lack as entrepreneurs is ideas. We have lots of them. Some good and most not so good. And our biggest challenge is to not get distracted and decide what we're not going to do. There's always an opportunity cost. In our case, as soon as we started to get some traction, we had people outside our company say, hey, we love TradeRev. We love what your technology does. It would be great if we could apply this to the recreational vehicle market, the wine market, the real estate market, and the fish market. And then we thought, oh, that's cool. Frozen fish on a mobile auction. And we laughed, but we actually went down this road. We started developing generic auction models to see how we could model all these different business nuances into our app. And it really just distracted us from the one problem that we were about to have, which is a huge influx of volume into our system. So on that note, those are the three things I wish I had known before I started. But I had to learn the hard way, so I'm hopeful by sharing these things with you that I can save you some time. You're going to hear from some amazing people today. People that, like you, have a crazy idea potentially, that seemed unattainable. But they believed, and they got others to believe. So listen closely, stay positive, and go chase your idea. And you never know, in a year or two, you might be hanging up your sign on a building and sharing your words of wisdom on this stage. So thank you. And on that note, I'd like to turn it over to three superstars. We're going to discuss how they're driven and their determination. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome in conversation with BuzzFeed's Alex Kent-Rowitz, NFL extraordinaire Terrell Owens, founder and CEO of Hootsuite, Ryan Holmes, and co-founder and president of Endela, Christina Sass.